We're tracking several stories breaking overnight on your Friday morning. First, stunning historic vote in the United Kingdom as British residents vote to leave the European Union. The response this morning, nothing short of chaotic, with Britain's Prime Minister announcing his resignation a short time ago. Eyewitness News reporter Madeline Wright live in our breaking news center now with all the latest.
Britain is voting to leave the European Union to take greater control of its economy and its borders. The historic referendum is all over the front page. One newspaper in London with the headline, "See you later." British Prime Minister David Cameron is now resigning. He fought hard for his country to stay in the EU. 52% of Britons voted to leave the EU compared to 48% in favor of staying. The European Union will now go from 28 nations to 27. The historic decision opens up a world of uncertainty, raising the likelihood of years of negotiations over trade, business, and political links. It also shatters the continental unity forged after World War II. David Cameron says despite the loss of his campaign, he's proud of the British democracy.
The British people have voted to leave the European Union, and their will must be respected. I want to thank everyone who took part in the campaign on my side of the argument, including all those who put aside party differences to speak in what they believed was the national interest.
The world's financial markets reacted immediately after the vote. More on the economic impact coming up in half an hour. Live in the Breaking News Center, Madeline Wright, Eyewitness News.
It is now 6:33, and we continue to track breaking overnight news that is having an impact worldwide. Voters in Britain have decided to leave the European Union, the results throwing the global economy into a tailspin. So far, there have been heavy losses in the Asian and European markets, and here in the United States, Dow Jones futures fell by some 600 points, which could be a bad sign for the day ahead on Wall Street. Eyewitness News reporter Madeline Wright live in our Breaking News Center with more now.
The results of the British referendum has traders around the world in a panic. They're bracing for economic damage. Global financial markets are tumbling after British voters defied expert predictions and voted to leave the European Union. The British pound plummeted more than 10% in 6 hours. Shares of British banks collapsed as much as 30% in opening deals. Germany's stock index dropped 10% in early trading. And the turmoil was hardly limited to Europe. Tokyo stocks slumped nearly 8%. Analysts predict the historic vote will likely cause U.S. stocks to slide in the short term. S&P futures dropped 5% overnight. Economists say more trouble is in store.
Almost every economist, it's extraordinary to have economists quite as united on an issue as they have been on this one, that the impact of this vote will be to damage the British economy.
But this is all going to calm down in due course of time. Of course, there's going to be some short-term turbulence whilst everyone gets used to the new reality.
British Prime Minister David Cameron is now resigning. Mr. Obama said that he is planning to speak with him soon, and he had encouraged voters to stay in the EU, but he said the decision was up to the people. Live in the Breaking News Center, Madeline Wright, Eyewitness News.